Okay, I want to tell you a quick story about a problem that we had on a trip recently. Every year we take several dealers who buy from us on a nice trip, nice vacation, and this year was to Hyatt Secrets Playa Blanca. Hyatt Secrets Playa Blanca, and it's a great place. It's just north of Cancun, and I think the resort is like a year old, so just super nice. But I do have some questions regarding their integrity with security. The last night we were there, which was Saturday, May the 2nd, my wife and I had dinner, and we were leaving the restaurant, heading back to our room because we knew we had to get up in the morning and pack. And but my wife wanted to get this picture in this lounge area that is in the middle of this lagoon, and the lagoon is like it's at water level, so you're actually underwater in that area. So it's really neat. It's a sunken fire pit inside this little lagoon. And so we went in there and to take the picture. Now, I wear these. These are my readers. These are my distance. They're sunglasses. They're Meta Wayfarers. And so for pictures, I typically take them off. And so we're sitting at this fire pit, and I took my glasses off and set them down, and we took the picture, and then we went back to the room. And it wasn't until early in the morning when, I think I was gonna go get some coffee, and I realized my glasses were missing. So we looked everywhere, and I realized where I left them. I'm like, when we took that picture, which was at 9:50 p.m. that night, we knew exactly where I had left the glasses. So I ran up to Lost and Found at the hotel lobby, and I asked the front desk, and they checked Lost and Found. They said nothing's been turned in. They said, "Would you like to do an investigation?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Absolutely, that's fine." And they said, "Now it's going to take probably about 20 minutes before that security can get to your room." And I said, "That's fine." And they said, "Now they will look through your room." I said, "Well, the more the merrier. Check my room. Maybe it's somewhere I haven't looked, or I can't find it. Maybe your guys can find it." And they said, "Well, are you sure you want to do this?" And I said, "I'm telling you." I'm starting to get irritated. I'm like, "Absolutely, just meet me down there." So about 30 minutes later, 4 people show up, come in the room, and we talk about the whole night before and where we're absolutely certain as to where we left, or where I left the glasses. And so then they gave me a form, and I filled out the form. I submitted the value of the glasses. And let me say this. I lost the glasses. I set them down. I lost control of it. So I don't hold Hyatt or Secrets responsible for that. However, they had me fill out a form. They searched our room. They had me fill out a form in which I put my full name, my home address, my email address, contact information, and I give a in-depth description of what happened. And I was able to place the fire pit near in the lagoon next to a club called Rendezvous at 9:50 p.m. on May 2nd. And the people were like, "This will just it'll be very quick because we've got a camera on that fire pit. We should figure it pretty quick, but you got to give us 72 hours. So I'm like, "That's fine." But they said, "We'll probably be in touch with you sooner than that. This should be open and shut." And then probably maybe even a guest found them and they haven't turned them in yet. And I'm like, "That's fine." That being said, I really didn't expect necessarily to get them back. What bothered me was that 72 hours comes and goes, and I still haven't heard from the resort. So I called down to the resort, and I'm getting bounced around by people like, what are you talking about? And I'm explaining it, and that I had an investigation, filled out paperwork, and nobody knew what to say about that. They just told me that, oh, they'll let me know or something, but I didn't have any confidence when I called down there a few times. Finally, I got with my travel agent who booked it, and I said, do you have any contacts inside of Hyatt or Secrets that might help me with this? Because at this point, I'm annoyed. It's like the principle of the thing. Why do you have cameras everywhere if you won't follow up with the customer for an investigation? Is this to cover Hyatt's butt, or does it cover people traveling down there too? Why won't you share the video? It would show what happened to my glasses. And so I contacted my travel agent, like I said, and the travel agent reached out to a few people in the know who worked down there, and people at Hyatt. And I got an email a few days ago from the head of all butlers at the Secrets Playa Blanca. And he said, hey, sir, senor, I'm sorry, but we cannot find your glasses. I know this is bad, but we're sorry. Since you didn't know where you might have left them, and you don't know when you lost them, we just don't have a way of finding them. And that's when I was like, you're not telling me the truth. And that's what I did. I wrote back to this gentleman, and I said, well, then you didn't read the report that I submitted and that I had to fill out, because I'm telling you at 21:50 hours on May 2nd, 2026 at this location anyway, I told them everything. And I said, I want a copy of that document. Crickets, no response. So, I don't know where to go. I don't know if those cameras, I don't know if I trust Hyatt Secrets and Hyatt Secrets Playa Blanca. The way, no follow-up to it. Again, the loss of this is my fault, but their follow-up with me regarding this investigation, I think that the moment I pulled away on the bus, they probably wadded up that sheet of paper and threw it away, or they caught an employee stealing it, and they don't want to tell me that, yeah, it was stolen by an employee. I don't know. But I'd sure like to see the video from that fire pit at that time. And but it's crickets. If you try to get a hold of someone at Hyatt, no response. So good job. Good job, Hyatt, Secrets Playa Blanca. I brought 60 or 120 people, so 60 rooms. I've been doing this for this was the 6th year, so I've done quite a bit with Secrets, and I've lost a modicum of trust with you guys. So anyway, that's the story. Give me your feedback. Give me your thoughts.